Evening.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm fine.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name is Piyush Mittal. I'm from India.
Piyush from India, I guess that. My name is Peter and I'm from England. So you seem to have quite a few minutes. Nice to meet you. So how can I help you tonight? So it's the evening here. I know,
Ask,
what time is it?
yeah, there is India is 12 a.m.
Oh, okay, so it's midnight, yes? Midnight. So it is late at night. So here it is 10 past 7 in the evening and it's cold. So it's quite cold. We're coming to the winter now, but I have to explain. I used to live in Australia
I
and
I have
Southeast
I have
Asia
visited in London
and
last year.
London. Okay, can I ask you what you do? Are you working? Are you studying?
You ask me any question.
Say again?
You ask me any question.
Yeah. So are you working or are you studying?
No. I'm working in sales and marketing company.
Okay. So whereabouts in India are you from?
I'm in
Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, yes? Madhya Pradesh?
Madhya Pradesh,
Yeah,
MP.
okay. So
Madhya
where's
Pradesh,
that?
Gwalior.
Is that
Near
north,
about
south?
near about New Delhi.
Okay, so you're in the north.
North.
Yeah. So how do you go to Delhi? Where do you
Yes,
work?
my born in New Delhi.
Okay. So how do you find the pollution there?
I am living in a small town near about New
Yeah.
Delhi.
But I read, I access the BBC every day and I read all about India and I read all about the world and they said living in Delhi is like smoking 30 cigarettes a day, yes?
Yeah, just like Shanghai.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think Beijing is the worst. I've been to
Just like
Beijing.
Shanghai.
Yeah, the pollution is horrible in in Beijing because it's cold. You get
Yeah.
what they call a blanket, and it holds all. And London is the same. London is in a basin, and when the weather is cold, it forms like a blanket, and it holds the pollution in. So, anyway, how can I help you today?
You ask me questions. Simple
So
conversation.
you just want a conversation. Okay, so you say foreign travel. So when you were in England, what were you doing? Were you on holiday or was it business?
Just for holiday. My friends and my family and
Okay,
my
so you
colleague.
have, so whereabouts in London?
Good. Nice weather.
Yeah, whereabouts in London did you visit? Which area? Which
I have
area did you
visited.
stay in?
I have visited London Bridge, Buckingham Palace,
Yeah,
guard change ceremony,
yeah,
the Big Bang,
the changing of the guards, the Big Ben,
yeah,
or now it's actually called
River View,
Big Ben
Big
is
Bang,
actually the
and
name of the bell. It's the name of the bell.
Big Bang, Big Bang.
The
And
tower is called
I
Queen Elizabeth Tower.
London Eye.
Oh, you went to I've been on that. I lived in London for 7 years. I used to work in West London, not far from the airport, and most of my
And
staff were Punjabi, so
Lord Punjabi.
I can speak Punjabi a little bit. So they used to
Little
call
bit.
me Lombu. They used to call me Lombuwala because I'm tall.
So many person in India to attract in settle down in London.
Yes, yes. It's what we say, a cosmopolitan city. Yeah. So mainly, there's different communities. The people in the West tend to be Sikhs, Punjabis.
South
The
South
South,
whole place in many Indians than some other continent people.
yeah, I know. I used to live close by. But in East London, you get mainly Bengali people from Pakistan and Bengal. So it depends where you go in London. But there's many,
Sri
many. And
Lankan, Sri Lankan also.
Sri Lanka. Well, where I come from is a town called Blackburn, and it's in the
Look like
northwest of it.
same.
Yeah.
All are look like same.
Well, 20% of the population of Blackburn come from Bangladesh or Pakistan. So my school, I had friends, we play cricket, so I'm quite, there's Patel, there's people. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can mix, sometimes you don't mix. It just depends. Just depends. But my school, it was okay. I had some good friends, and one of my friends ended up becoming an imam. He went back to India into a madras, and he ended up. So I went to university, and then he came back, and now he preaches in Leeds, I think. But anyway, so what do you? So in your international marketing, what products do you market? Do you have specific products?
Health insurance.
Health insurance. And that is becoming a very popular thing in India?
Yeah, 85% of people don't have a health insurance.
But it is mainly aimed at the, what we call the... middle class. So you have to have it.
85% people don't have health insurance.
Yeah. So, but the people who do tend to be a little bit richer. They have a little bit more disposable income. I'm just giving you some disposable income. I'm trying to get some words to you. So other than Cambly, how else do you access English? Do you listen to the radio? Do you watch TV?
YouTube videos.
YouTube. Well, okay. Do you listen to the BBC at all? The BBC World Service Radio?
No. I'm watching some traveling videos.
Yeah. My videos are okay, but the way the brain works...
favorite YouTuber in Mark Wayne, Travel James.
Yeah, I can explain something, the way the brain works. If you want to actually improve your English, okay, YouTube videos are great because they're educational, okay? But when the way the brain works is when you're processing the visual, you're not listening as closely as you should. So I try to get my students to try and listen to at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours of the BBC World Service radio every day because... And I'll give you an example. Now there's a lady from India, and she is the host. She's the compere. She's the person. She's in charge of the show. You can tell she's Indian because she has an Indian accent, but her English is clear. Do you understand? Some people think, but because you have an accent, it is a problem. It's not a problem because what you have to do, and I've got a lot of experience working with and teaching Indian people. You have to slightly change the style, we say your delivery. So the first thing you should do is sort of slow down a little bit when you're speaking, because you're speaking English. I
can understand English, but speak little.
Yeah, well, the problem is that the way you're speaking, we would call it this word.
Yeah.
So you're speaking English in an Indian style. You're speaking English in the same rhythm and the same delivery. You understand the speed. So you just sort of have to slow down a bit. The other thing, how do you go pronouncing that?
Wow. W.
Yeah. Like say this word for me. This is just common problems. Can you say it for me?
Woman.
Very good. Because a lot of Indian people say women. They pronounce the W as a V. Yeah, it is his common fault. So
American and British accent are different.
Oh well, they speak American. We speak English.
But so many Indians speak in British accent.
Yeah. Well, you speak in a British style because your education system was established under what they call the Raj, and English is the common language in India. It is still the national language, how you communicate.
Second language, largest speakable language in India.
Yeah. Well, it's how you communicate. For Gujarat wants to speak.
65% people speak in Hindi.
Hindi, yeah, but the other people don't. So if you want a Bengali,
23 official language are there.
Yeah. So English is easier. It's what we call the franca lingua. It's the common language. Yep. So the style of English that you're speaking sometimes can be a little bit old-fashioned. So that's what I mean about keeping up to speed with the latest words. I mean, I know people who work I've talked to people in Bangalore, and I've also spoken to people in Silicon Valley in America who have gone over there and said, do you think my accent's okay? And I said, your accent's fine. But Americans want them to speak in an American style. I said, well, eventually you will learn to speak in an American style. You'll sort of fit in as long as you don't. Yeah. Do you understand?
Last month I have visited in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, okay. I lived there for 20 years.
I am thinking Australian accent are different
Yeah, it's like
other than American and
it's
British.
what we say is nasal. So they talk down the nose a bit, mate. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I lived in Sydney for 20 years, so I'm very familiar. But I did not get the Australian accent. I kept my English accent deliberately because I didn't want to sound like an Aussie. If you live in it, so what were you doing in Sydney?
I'm in Cambly in around 30 days, yani 1 month.
Mm-hmm. No.
So,
what did you?
I can talk some other countries people, British, American, Australian, and Thai, and Chinese also,
So
and
what did you do
Canadian.
what did you do in Sydney?
Some holiday, 7 days holiday, vacation.
Not enough time.
I have visited Howard Bridge and Opera House,
Opera House,
Blue Mountain,
Blue Mountains, Bondi Beach,
Three Sister, Bondi Beach.
Bondi Beach, Coogee Beach. We say the usual places, but living in Sydney is one thing, because Sydney is a funny city because people think about the harbour and they think about the beaches, but it goes in a westerly direction, maybe 60, 70 miles. But when you go when you obviously did when you went to the Blue Mountains, you'll see how big Sydney was. Yeah, it's quite a big city. But remember, there's only 27 million people live in Australia.
Yeah.
And the same.
India produce every year one Australia.
Every week. But
every year.
You remember, though, it's the same size as the USA. So the USA's got 350 million and Australia's got 27. So when you get outside of Sydney or Melbourne,
we are 1.3 billion.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, we don't know.
Second largest in the world.
No, I think you're larger than there's more people. When was the last time they had a census in India? A census. You know what a census is?
Census.
When was the last time? Do they have one every 10 years, every 5 years? A census, where they count people. It's called a census. Every household gets a form, and they have to fill out the form and say how many people live there, how many children, and from that they measure the population. When was the last time? I think 5 years ago, from my memory.
You ever visit in India?
I don't need to. I lived in England. No, I didn't.
Some Britisher and in India.
Yeah, well, there's
Russian also.
A lot of people sort of looking at retiring. Retire.
And very settled down in India, and the family are in Indian.
Well, there's lots of people from. Is that spelled right? Kerala.
Kerala.
Yeah, a lot of people look at Kerala. Yeah, it's because it's sort of a holiday, a bit relaxed. But people don't realise that we say the cultural sensitivities. You understand that phrase? Have you ever heard it before? Cultural sensitivity. So different parts of India have got different religions, different habits, different customs. Yeah. So it depends where you go. That's because
English people are so religious.
Well, as we say, English people also drink tea and many other things. So the access to alcohol, like in Kerala, you have to go to a special shop to buy alcohol. And
Indian drink tea, coffee, and with milk, and American and British are without milk and without sugar.
Believe me, we drink tea with milk, and we drink coffee with milk.
You like with milk?
Have you been to the USA?
Yeah.
Have you been to the USA?
New York.
Well, the coffee in America is not good anyway. I thought the coffee was horrible.
Without milk and without sugar.
Yeah, because it's weak. And it's weak. It's not strong.
Indian doesn't like without tea, without milk, without sugar.
You put milk in everything. Milk is a big part of your diet. I know. Anyway, we have 10 seconds. It's been really nice to talk to you. I'll send you my schedule. You have a look. Maybe you want to